Good day, great minds. Welcome to my channel. In today's tutorial, I'm going to be replicating this flyer design. So I'm going to be taking us gradually through the process in which I put in making up this design. So I want you to pay attention and watch till the end of this tutorial so that you'll not be missing out from anything I'm going to be doing here. And please do well to subscribe to this channel and help us to grow so we could reach a larger audience with what we are doing. So the first thing I'm going to do is to create the new document. So I'll go over to File and click on New. So I'll wait for the new dialog box to pop out, and then I'm going to be making use of 1080 width by 1080 height. That is in pixels. So I'm going to set the dimension at pixels, and then the resolution at 300, and this is my width and my height, and my color mode is going to be set at RGB. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to click on Create. So I've created the new document. Alright, so I'm going to bring in the first resource, the first background I'm going to be using. So I'll go over to my File Explorer and click on the first resource and drag into the interface. Alright, we have that here. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to change the color balance to 31 degree or 31% magenta. So I want this background to have a magenta color balance. So the next thing I'm going to do is to go over to Image, Adjustments, and then Color Balance. Alright, so I'm going to shift the radar here at the center, the magenta radar, and shift it to minus 31. Okay, that's okay. Minus 31. I will then click on OK. Alright, so now I'm going to erase the lower part of this background. So I'm going to come over to my layer panel here and click on Add Layer Mask, and make sure the background layer is activated. And then I'm going to pick on my brush tool here, and then make sure my foreground color is set at black. If my foreground color is not set at black, what I'm going to do is to come over here and click on the arrow here and switch it to black. So the black here at the top is the foreground and the white below is the background. So my foreground color is set at black. So I'm going to erase the lower part here. I'm going to erase the lower part and then drop the brush. So next thing I'm going to do now is to bring in the next background. I'll go over to my File Explorer and click on the second background and drag into my interface. Alright, so I have this here. I'm going to do a blending mode on this background. I'm going to be blending this background to the background below using the blending mode. So I'll come over to my blending mode here, and then I'll click on Highlight. So now what that highlight has helped me to do has helped me to create a reflection of light at the center of this background. That is what I needed. So I just needed that reflection of light at the center, like the lights, the stage lights here are reflecting to the center. That's what I needed. Now the next thing I'm going to do now is to erase the lower parts of this background on top. I don't need that part, so I'll come and activate my Add Layer Mask here, and then pick up my brush, make sure my foreground color is set at black, and then erase carefully below. Okay, and that's it. And the next thing I'm going to do now is to bring in the next resource. I'll bring in the next resource. I'll be bringing this clip art. I'll drop the clip art here and then resize it and take it to the center. That's okay. So now with this clip art, I'll be placing the theme of the program on this clip art. That is the purpose for bringing in this clip art, to place the theme of the program, and it's also adding to the beauty of the design. So the next thing I'm going to do is to go over to the other document I already had, and then make a selection of these ones here. Okay, so I'll click here and drag on the first text here and bring it here. So we have this. So I can as well reduce it a little bit and then bring it down again. Alright, so I'm going to bring the next text we have, the special, click and drag to the other document and drop it here. So just take it up a bit again. Alright, so there is still some little things to do further. So I want to tell us how I created these effects on the text. I want to show us how I created this effect on the text. If you look at the text, there is kind of a coily effect on the text. So this is how I achieved this. When I click on this text, I'll move over to the layer here and double click on the text layer. Then the layer style dialog box will pop out. So this is called the layer style dialog box. So I came over to the blending options here. Under the blending option, I came over to bevel and emboss, and then I set the depth at 63, the size at 43, and the softness at 6. And now at the point of the techniques here, I set it at smooth. So if I should click another one here, you see the changes. So I didn't like this one, so rather I choose smooth. So that is why it gave me this effect. And also the gloss contour here, I made the settings at this and at double ring. So I set it at double ring. So that is why it's giving me this effect. So that's how I got that effect on the text. Likewise, the second text here. Now, the font I use for this design is called Font Spring Demo. Font Spring Demo. And the second font here is called Stanley Personal Use. So that's the name of the font. And also, I use 3 different fonts here. I use Font Spring Demo, then Stanley Personal Use, and Montserrat. These are 3 fonts I use. So you're going to see the other fonts in the next text I'm going to be bringing in. So the next thing I'm going to do is to bring in another one here. Okay, we have a dove here. So I'm going to bring in this dove and place here. And then bring in this one. And then place it here. So we have the dove is like signifying Holy Ghost. So that's what the dove signifies, Holy Ghost. So I'm going to drop it there. So the next thing I'm going to do again is to bring in the image of the man of God. So I'm going to click and drag it here. And all right, I'm going to resize this, resize it, and resize it. So let me see how we positioned it here. Okay. All right. There's one other text that's remaining to bring in. So I'm going to bring this one, the subheading or the theme. So I'm going to bring it here and place it there. Okay. So make sure everything is centralized. Very, very important. Make sure everything is centralized. And then the image of this man of God, I'll place it at this position. All right, then you could see this effect here, the black and white effect. So this is how I did it. I'll just come over and click on it and then make sure I rasterize this image. I'll come over to the image layer here, right click and click on rasterize layer. So then I'll just go over to my image adjustment, then click on image adjustment. I'm looking for my desaturate. Okay, so click on desaturate. We have black and white here. The next thing I'm going to do is just go over to the filter camera raw effect and increase the sharpness of this image. So I'll wait for the camera raw filter to load. I'll wait for it to load. Okay, we have this, and I'm just going to come over here below and touch a little bit of the texture, clarity, and okay, a little bit of the haze, and then highlights, a little bit of highlights. Okay, and that's okay. So we have this. All right. So next thing I'm gonna do is to bring in other text here. So I'll just click on this, and then this also, and this, and this. So I'll drag it to my documents, the second document here, and drop it there. So in your own time, you can spend time in typing all this text, but I'm not going to be typing this text because of time. I want this tutorial to be as short as possible. So the next thing I'm going to do is to bring in the logo. This is how I did it. The logo, I'll just bring it in and drop it there. Okay, so that's all for now. So we have no other thing to add again. So we've come to the end of this tutorial. Thank you very much for giving me your time, and please do well to subscribe to this channel. If you're yet to subscribe, do well to subscribe and encourage us. If you have any question, you can ask in the comment section below. Thank you very much, and see you in my next video.